Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Hotel Room Yap. I do not want to leave this bed. I don't want to leave this bed. I don't want to leave this bed. I am... Does anyone else wake up just like so thirsty? Oh my gosh. Okay. Tonight's sleep after this convention will be so nice. Oh my gosh. Tired. I only got like 4.5 hours of sleep. Because 4 a.m.? What? Why? Okay. I almost didn't film this morning because my brain is still coming together and my voice sounds like this. Good. Okay, but I needed to film this because this morning I was like, oh, maybe I won't film something. And I haven't done a cozy yap in a second. I was like, oh, I'm tired. Let me sleep in a little more. But no. I needed to film this because of the wonderful things he does. No, because you need to believe actions, not words. I need to believe actions, not words. Everyone, actions mean more than words. I do not care what the situation is. Maybe the person has trauma. Maybe it's just a friendship dynamic as opposed to a relationship. Maybe it's your parents. Maybe whatever. Maybe they are legitimately going through a really busy, rough time. This can all be valid. You still need to look at somebody's actions, and that will show you how they care about you. And that goes for you too and me too. What you do and the actions you take in regard to people also is telling about how much you care about them and how much I care about them and how much they care about us. Okay? Freaking actions. Do you actually care enough to take a moment to do the thing? To do the freaking thing? If you don't, you don't care. Period. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. You can't force somebody to change their mind. You can't force somebody to act. No. But you can give yourself the peace of mind knowing that action is your answer. Action is your answer. Yep. Now, I had to think about this with myself, with some friendships and stuff this year, because I was like, I care about this person, and I was like, do I? Have I let them know? Have I consistently let them know? How much of forgiveness do some friends get for not necessarily being the best texter or not planning to hang out or not whatever? And so there's a conversation you have to have with yourself, because there are some friends who I absolutely can meet up with. We could have not talked for years, and it's like no time has passed. We pick up where we left off, and it's great. But let's take a little moment here to actually review the kind of friendships that we want and the kind of relationships we want. Is that the kind of friendship that I want? Is that the kind of friendship I bring to the table? That I want to bring to the table? No. No, it is not. Someone can be a good person. Someone can be a great friend. Like a good, a good supportive human, positive vibes means well. When you're together, it's great. But if they are not around and supportive without you there, and I don't mean you gotta text every day, okay? That's not what I'm talking about. But if you don't know when you're gonna see somebody next, and if they aren't checking in on you and checking up with you, that either means that they do not care, or they do not have the capacity to care in the way that you need, especially if you've communicated it to them. And now I've communicated it with some people this year, where I was like, hey, I actually really care about you. I haven't talked to you in a while. Can we please up the amount of communication, the amount of checking in? It's really important to me. You're important to me. I would like this to grow. Can you do that? Do you have the capacity to do that, And most of those inquiries were met with a positive response. Now, we saw some positive change with some, And people are busy, adults are busy, okay? We're not gonna be perfect, but there was increased communication. I have lots of friends who are long distance, and if the connection doesn't stay, if there's no effort put into that, it's gonna fall apart. Like, you live on the other side of the world or the country. Like, of course we're not in each other's lives every day, but then also, where's the fine line of then recognizing that and being like, great, that window of my life and that relationship and that friendship is probably moved on. And I think recently I was given an interesting lesson in the form of a boy, and it was short-lived, so it was okay, but it was so blatantly obvious that there was just no real action or planning being done for me. There were so many words, so many nice words, really well-crafted words, lovely to read, lovely to hear. No freaking action, zero. And I was like, what the heck is this? And, it just made me think of friendships too. And I was like, I'm so glad I'm finally getting to the point where I am turned off by the lack of action and the lack of consistency, because I know how hard I freaking work. And if I am willing to make time, and if I take action, I'm gone almost every freaking weekend. That is why we are doing this little series. And no, it's not just the weekend. It's not just Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, because I have to pack and prep Wednesday, Thursday. Sometimes it's Thursday through Sunday. Sometimes my flight doesn't come back till Monday. Sometimes it's 5 days of the week are spent on the road or planning a trip or whatever. So if I can freaking make time with all of that travel and my auditions and me freaking trying to stay healthy, goodness gracious, we almost have my voice back, going to the gym, taking care of my dog, doing the laundry, doing my bookkeeping, keeping up with my Discord and my online website and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, filming this content, sending stuff to my editor, juggling all of that, kind of attempting to have a social life, dating. We're not really doing that this year. We had that one blip and we're done. And if I can find time, that is a choice. And that means you're not making the choice, which means you do not care about me. And why the hell would I want to be around people who don't care about me? Why the hell do I care about people who don't care about me? What kind of weird trauma is that? No, we're freaking done with that. Done. Actions. Pay attention to actions. And it's not always malicious either. Like, people could have mental health issues. People could legitimately be going through like a massive era of change in their life. That's fine. I'm not going to back burner for you. Unless like we've been friends for like 10 years and you're like, I'm going through this crazy transformation. I think something's wrong. There are all these changes. I know I'm not being consistent. I really care about you. Can you please be patient with me? Or if you can sense that maybe there's something like that going on, but like there have been records of reliability in the past, right? Yeah. And I also just, I don't know. It's interesting. I know this is stupid, but like, there's been a couple of friendships and relationships where I wonder if they even like me. And I don't mean this in like, oh, like I'm just so important. No, but like they liked Avatar and they were a fan of Avatar. Not like crazed necessarily. Well, a couple people in there maybe, but how they knew me first was as a character in a show that they really liked. And then actual me was next. And I wonder if that has affected some things. I don't know. It kind of makes me bummed out because I'm like, I wonder if they actually really like Michaela at all, or if they just kind of not made themselves like me, but if they just like liked me enough, you know what I mean? Because of that. Interesting. Same thing with your parents. Same thing with your siblings. Same thing with yourself, honestly. A self-respect thing. Trust the actions of how you treat yourself. You need to take care of you. You need to be nice to yourself. You need to take yourself out and get a nice dinner every now and then. You need to take care of your skin. You need to say kind things about yourself. Being disciplined in the way that makes sense to you. Getting good rest, which I'm bad at. I'm not that nice to myself. Moving your body. the fabric and the clothing you put on your body. How you treat you is also indicative of how others may treat you. So focus on your actions to yourself as well. How do you treat you? How do you handle you? What actions do you take for yourself? That's step one. But just, I don't know. I just really wanted to say that because there was, one friend who I mentioned, like, hey, like, we don't talk as much. I don't see you, blah, blah, blah. I'm bummed about that. Can we fix that? He was like, yes. And it has visibly changed. Now, not every day, no. But like every, I don't know, week and a half, couple weeks, something like that, there's a check-in. Hey, how the past couple weeks gone? There are even some written cards in the mail. It's not going to be perfect. I'm not keeping tabs on exact dates and how many times one person, no. But there's been a noticeable shift of like, hey, we need to keep this connection open because it was important to us to do that. And clearly, I know important to us because the other person is participating the same way I am, or at least a similar amount of energy. So yeah, just something to think about. I should probably get ready. Yeah, I should probably get ready. But let's grab. Yeah. Creative act way of being Rick Rubin. We flip to a page, we say a phrase. If this is your first time, I've been reading this book for way too many months. I thought I was going to finish it in a month. I have not. Here we are. Okay. Oh, and we're at the lovely Toronto Marriott in downtown, next to a convention center and a big arena. Okay, I'm doing something from the beginning pages. Let's see. Okay. It's a healthy practice to approach our work with as few accepted rules, starting points, and limitations as possible. Often, the standards in our chosen medium are so ubiquitous, it's too early for these words, we take them for granted. They are invisible and unquestioned. This makes it nearly impossible to think outside the standard paradigm. I don't really know how that's related to what we talked about today, but I'll say it again. It's a healthy practice to approach our work with as few accepted rules, starting points, and limitations as possible. Often, the standards in our chosen medium are so ubiquitous we take them for granted. They are invisible and unquestioned. This makes it nearly impossible to think outside the standard paradigm. Yeah, so I guess going into things with not too many expectations, but maybe some hard boundaries. What did somebody say? Somebody a few weeks ago was like, live life with a soft heart and hard boundaries. Was it hard or sharp? Soft heart and sharp boundaries. I think that's what it was. Like, you don't need to become cold and heartless or whatever when somebody wrongs you. No. But you absolutely can draw that super cold line and be like, you're done. And move on. No need to crash out. No need to over paragraph. No need to panic attack. No. It can suck. You can, no one's perfect. I have like my little mini crash outs, whatever. I have feelings. But no. And then once you get there to that point where you're like, this person doesn't care, you can just go boop and move on. I did that last year with somebody, and then I fell for the comeback the second time around. We're like, hey, I would really like to do this, after the action had been very obvious that they did not freaking care. And that was probably a mistake. But I cared about them and gave it another go. But the action did not actually change, like, at all. Not really. And they were surprised because they were like, hey, did you notice? And I was like, notice what? Literally nothing has changed. Maybe how you feel has changed, but your actions have not changed. So yeah, people, I don't know, I think people can shift, but if they do, it really has to be their own decision, not forced by you. And if it's not doing what you need for your friendship, for your family, for your love life, for your whatever, you gotta just boop, believe the action, move the frick on, done. And then people's actions after that are also be pretty telling. Okay, I gotta get ready. Thank you for joining for this episode of Hotel Room Yap. I don't know why I just did that, but Thank you for joining. I gotta check out in an hour. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day. Trust people's actions. Trust your gut. Breathe and take some time to process. No need to immediately react or crash out about anything. Be chill about it. I'm still learning my best ways to be chill about things. And yeah. See you guys next time. Bye.